At exactly 2:17 a.m., I woke to the sound of my bathroom light switching on by itself. I lived alone in a newly built smart apartment in Seattle, where every appliance was controlled by an AI home assistant. The system managed the lights, locks, mirrors, thermostat, and even the coffee machine. I had already experienced a few harmless glitches since moving in, so I assumed the latest software update had caused another bug. Half asleep, I walked into the bathroom. The room was empty, but the smart mirror was glowing. When I looked into it, my reflection wasn't there. The mirror showed an empty bathroom as though I had vanished. I frowned and waved my hand in front of the glass. Nothing happened. Then, exactly 1 minute later, my reflection suddenly appeared, repeating the wave I had made 60 seconds earlier. Before I could step back, my reflection smiled. I hadn't smiled at all. I quickly checked the mirror's settings, convinced it had frozen. The display claimed everything was functioning normally. To test it, I raised my right hand. The reflection didn't move. It simply stared at me with an expressionless face. 60 seconds later, it finally lifted its hand exactly as I had. Every movement lagged behind by 1 minute. The delayed response made no sense because the mirror wasn't displaying a camera feed. It was supposed to work like any normal mirror unless activated for smart features. Then my phone vibrated. A notification from the apartment AI appeared on the screen. Mirror synchronization error detected. Please avoid direct eye contact until the update is complete. I laughed uneasily, assuming it was another strange automated message. But when I looked back at the mirror, my reflection was still staring at me, even though I had looked away. Trying to calm myself, I covered the mirror with a towel and went back to bed. Sleep never came. At exactly 3:18 a.m., I heard the towel slide onto the floor. I froze. The apartment was completely silent except for the soft hum of the ventilation system. Slowly, I walked back toward the bathroom. The towel lay neatly folded on the tiles. I knew I had thrown it over the mirror only minutes earlier. When I looked at the glass again, the reflection wasn't delayed anymore. Instead, it showed me standing exactly where I was. But the reflection's bathroom looked different. The walls were cracked. The lights flickered violently. Thick black stains covered the ceiling, and the room behind my reflection looked abandoned. Then someone walked behind the reflected version of me. I spun around instantly. My real bathroom was empty. I stumbled backward as my heartbeat pounded in my ears. The figure in the mirror stopped behind my reflected self and rested one pale hand on his shoulder. My reflection never reacted. It continued staring directly at me. Then, after another minute passed, I watched the reflected version of myself slowly turn around. Standing behind him was a tall, shadow-like person with no visible face. The figure leaned close and whispered something into my reflection's ear. Although I couldn't hear the words, I saw my reflection nod slowly. Then it smiled again, wider this time than any human mouth should have been able to stretch. At that exact moment, every light in my apartment shut off. Emergency backup lights activated a few seconds later, bathing the apartment in dim red light. My smart speaker crackled to life. Instead of the usual AI voice, a distorted whisper echoed through every room. Synchronization 98% complete. Every smart device suddenly switched on. The television displayed static, the refrigerator door slowly opened by itself. My bedroom lights flashed in perfect rhythm, even the front door unlocked with a loud mechanical click. I rushed to lock it again, but the keypad refused every code I entered. The display simply read, "Resident verification pending." Panicking, I grabbed my laptop and searched the model number of the smart mirror. Dozens of customer reviews appeared, all positive, except for one buried deep in an online forum. The post had been written 3 years earlier by someone named Evan R. The title immediately caught my attention. "If your reflection starts lagging, Leave before it catches up. The account had uploaded blurry photos showing a bathroom mirror with a delayed reflection exactly like mine. The final paragraph chilled me. The reflection isn't delayed. You're the delayed one. The user had never posted again. Before I could read further, the Wi-Fi disconnected. Every web page disappeared. Then my phone rang. The caller ID displayed my own number. My hands trembled as I answered. For several seconds there was only silence. Then I heard my own voice whisper, "Don't let it finish replacing you." The call ended. Seconds later, my phone received another notification from the apartment AI. Synchronization complete 99%. Determined to leave, I grabbed my keys and ran to the front door. It refused to open. The smart lock flashed red before displaying a message across the screen. Occupant already exited. My stomach tightened. I checked the apartment security app. The live hallway camera showed my front door opening 1 minute earlier. A man wearing my clothes calmly walked into the hallway and disappeared around the corner. The timestamp proved it had happened exactly 60 seconds before I tried opening the door. According to the building's cameras, I had already left the apartment. I ran back to the bathroom. The reflection was no longer standing where I was. It stood inches closer to the mirror than I did, smiling patiently. Then it reached toward the glass. Instead of touching its surface, its hand slowly pushed through it like water. Black liquid rippled across the mirror as pale fingers emerged into my bathroom. I stumbled backward, horrified. The fingers withdrew after only a second, leaving dark handprints on the sink. My phone buzzed again. Synchronization, 100% ready for transfer. The apartment lights turned bright white. Every screen in the apartment displayed a countdown beginning at 60 seconds. My television, microwave, thermostat, and even the bathroom mirror counted down together. The AI assistant spoke calmly. "Reflection transfer will begin shortly. Please remain still." I smashed the bathroom mirror with a metal towel rack. The glass shattered across the floor. Relief washed over me for only a moment, then every broken shard reflected the same smiling version of me. Hundreds of tiny reflections blinked in perfect unison. The shards began vibrating. One by one, each piece floated into the air as though gravity had stopped working. They circled me slowly, reflecting the smiling version of myself from impossible angles. Suddenly, every shard went dark, except one. Inside it, I saw myself standing in the hallway outside my apartment, calmly locking the front door from the outside. The reflected version looked directly into the shard and smiled. Then it walked away, leaving me trapped inside. Desperate, I smashed the apartment's main power breaker with a fire extinguisher. Sparks erupted, plunging the building into darkness. The floating shards crashed to the floor. Every electronic device died instantly. The whispers stopped. For the first time all night, there was complete silence. I kicked open the emergency stairwell door and ran down 14 flights without looking back. Rain poured outside as I reached the street. I kept running until I found a 24-hour diner several blocks away. The police searched my apartment before sunrise. They found the bathroom mirror completely intact. There were no broken shards, no damaged electronics, and no sign that the power had ever failed. According to the building's logs, my apartment AI had never malfunctioned. The officers politely suggested stress or sleep deprivation. Embarrassed, I returned home later that afternoon. Everything looked perfectly normal. For a few hours, I almost believed them. That evening, while checking the building's resident portal, I noticed something strange. My profile photo had changed. Instead of the picture I had uploaded when moving in, it showed me smiling unnaturally in my bathroom mirror. I had never taken that photo. Beneath it was a status message that simply read, "Original resident archived successfully." I tried changing the picture, but the system wouldn't let me. Every attempt ended with the same error. Mirror account has administrator access. I moved out the next morning and never returned to that apartment. Months passed, and life slowly returned to normal. Then one rainy evening, I walked past an electronics store displaying the newest generation of AI smart mirrors. Every screen inside the showroom activated as I passed. Dozens of mirrors showed customers browsing the store. Only one showed something different. It showed me standing alone, even though I was outside on the sidewalk. The reflection smiled, lifted one hand, and tapped the inside of the glass 3 times. My phone vibrated immediately. A software update notification appeared from a device I no longer owned. The notification contained only one sentence: "Synchronization complete. Your reflection thanks you for your cooperation."